I was just sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
It all made sense right up to that last statement. That one didn't make any sense. Because from the entire murder scene, that is a big contradiction. Let's go ahead and skip ahead. And by the way, have I ever mentioned that Genocide Jill's voice being sped up is hysterical?
I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, you didn't! Bullshit!
No, that's wrong.
You are wrong!
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
Unless she, gracefully did 3 spins and then landed in the chair. Still doesn't make any sense, but...
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Was that hesitation?
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
There actually is a big piece of evidence that proves she was intact in front of the shelf. Because there's blood in front of the shelf.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right?
Are you gonna move that body? That's all muscle.
All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
You just brought this up?
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
You two are working together. Calling it now.
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
Oh no, it's just getting started.
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy.
Really?
After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
One of the multiple scenarios of a locked room murder, but I'm calling BS on this too.
No, I don't think that's possible.
Well, really think about it. When we first looked into the crime scene, the locker was open. There was no one in there.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
Secret room in the wall.
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
Oh, didn't even think of that. Jill doesn't even know about this yet.
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
She's got some resilience.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
There's one more detail I can think of. 2 blows to the head, figured that part out. But there's one more thing and a very vital piece of evidence. Let's take a look.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
Well, to be fair, Genocide Jill, you would be a very easy scapegoat because you did in fact hit Sakura in the back of the head. But, no! Think back on the Monokuma file. There are so many things that happen to Sakura, mainly three. The first blow to the head, the second blow to the head, and coughing up blood.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry, Hina. This case is still going.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood.
It's very specific.
Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
How thorough were you?
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Oh, here we go.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're really confident.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
I don't like how certain people are acting right now.
Of course, if you don't mind.
Byakuya, you have the floor.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
I said it more elegantly, though.
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
Very dangerous. Do not drink.
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Somebody switched the bottles. Calling it. Well, really think about it. He found a poison somewhere, and what would make the most sense to kill Sakura than a place that she would frequent?
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Hero, dude, it's not rocket science.
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
Byakuya! The hell are you doing? You fool! You... well, for all the people who wanted it, there you go. Byakuya just offed himself.
Master!
What are you doing? You're trying to prove a point in the middle of a trial? Yep, I've totally won this trial. Let me kill myself for your enjoyment. Wow! Okay.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
It's been nice knowing you.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble!
Give him mouth-to-mouth, Toko. It'll save his life. Maybe.
You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
Wait a minute.
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
So, they didn't just switch the bottles. Oh, this has me thinking. Oh.
It's protein powder.
They switched the actual chemicals inside the bottles.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can only think of one place. Oh, no! Fine, fine, we'll play your game. We'll play your hangman's gambit. Poirk. Well, they're throwing in more letters to confuse me. And they're moving sporadically. Sorry, I'm concentrating just a little bit. I really don't want to screw this up. What? Oh! Right as I say it. Alright, fine. I'll take one strike against me. The one place where the poison could actually be. If you look at all the crime scene, you look at the evidence, it becomes very, very clear. Somebody swapped something out.
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Ouch. Well, now the fun part. Who done it?
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
Uh-oh. I was wondering if he was going to go in this thought process, and I want to see if I have correctly gotten into Byakuya's head. Who do you accuse?
For real? Who was it?
But I have a strange feeling nobody's going to like the answer.
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
I even diagrammed it, and at that point there were only two suspects. Get rid of me, and the one final person. Well, on this piece of evidence, Just eliminate me and who's left.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
What?
The footprints. They're mine.
Who at home called this one? You probably hate yourself right now.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Ogre's killer was...
Uh-oh.
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Hina, I really don't want to do this, but it's you and me against the world.
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began.
She was quick to call for blood whenever somebody had something against Sakura or this trial in general. She has been acting very strange.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you?
Hina, you're diabolical.
This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her.
That seems barbaric when you say it out loud.
She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it. All at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you?
That's what I was going to say, but Kyoko, you have the floor.
You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves.
Byakuya, what did you just say?
Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
It's the only thing keeping us from a conclusion. The locked room.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
With all the scenarios given, and now that the supposed truth has come to life, how did you do it, Aoi?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Well,
Uh-huh. This is why I've had a bit of doubt. It's very difficult to create a locked room murder. And from the looks of it...
that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
She's going into denial, which leads me to believe this still is not over.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Maybe it was a freak accident, maybe it was a big fluke.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
That's what I'm going with now. She can't explain it.
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Actually, there is.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
All of the answers need to be found.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
I'm not gonna buy that. No murderer is that careless.
You didn't notice?
How do you not notice that? How do you not notice the powder?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Look, I've been hanging out with you for a while, Aoi. You are not that much of an airhead. You're an airhead, but you would notice something so obvious on the ground. I'm not buying it.
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Yes it does. Need all the answers.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
Okay.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
Or like Hero.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
Really? That's it?
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison, then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay. No, I got it. Thanks to that diagram, I think I got this.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
I gotta take authority. She's clearly not telling the truth.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
Until I get a definitive answer. Thank you. Watch and learn, Byakuya. Let's find a contradiction.